HDFC Life Youngstar Super Premium. Is it a good investment option to secure your kids' future? Hi, this is Ramalingam from holisticinvestment.in. We help individual investors to take right investment decisions and financial decisions to reach their financial goals faster and smarter. HDFC Life Youngstar Super Premium Policy. What details do we need to analyze this policy? We need to first understand the key features of this policy so that we can analyze, research, and review this policy. First, let us understand the key features of this policy. Under the key features, first let us understand the basic structure of this policy. HDFC Youngstar is a ULIP policy, Unit Linked Insurance Plan. Unit Linked Insurance Plan will have generally two components. The first component will give you life cover. In case of death of the policyholder for the child or for the beneficiary, for the nominee, a sum assured will be given. That is the death benefit. And a portion of the money will be invested. A portion of money will go towards life cover charges. Balance money will be invested. Right? That investment will be related to stock market. That investment will be related to money market. That investments can be related to fixed income securities, bond market. So, like a traditional endowment money back plans, here there will not be any guaranteed returns. Here the money is market related and based on the underlying fund performance. So this fund takes risk. So we have to expect risk premium return. We should not settle for a risk-free return from this policy. We have to expect risk premium return from this policy. So the structure of the policy is minimum policy term is 10 years and you can take 20 years maximum. Depends upon your like a kid's age, you can customize 10 years, 12 years, 15 years like that. You can customize, match it to their wedding or like a future wedding date or future higher education expenses requirement date. You can match it and decide. Say an investor is taking this policy for 10 years, he has to pay premium throughout the 10-year period. Then end of the 10-year, the maturity value will be given to the policy holder. This is the basic structure of this policy. As we have understood the basic structure of this policy, let us understand two important things from this policy in the key features. One is, I told you there are two aspects. One is life cover and the other one is investment. So let us understand this life cover details in a bit more detailed way. We will understand. This policy gives 10 times of the annual premium as the life cover for anyone who's aged less than 45 years. If you are less than 45 years, then the minimum life cover for you is 10 times of the annual premium you choose to pay. If your age is 45 and above, then the minimum life cover or minimum sum assured from this policy is 7 times of the annual premium. The maximum life cover can be 40 times of your annual premium also. But remember, if you are increasing the life cover, then in that case, the life cover charges will be more. So obviously, from your premium, life cover charges is debited more and the balance left will be less. That only will go towards your actual investments. So if you increase the life cover, then the investment component will shrink. It will come down. That we have to keep in mind. Now let us understand the investment portion a bit more better. This fund collects money from us and in turn they invest in 4 different underlying funds. You have an option to choose any of these funds or a combination of these funds you can choose to invest. Income fund, which will invest only in fixed income securities, 100% safe, so low risk fund. Balanced fund is a moderate risk fund, medium risk, because this invests in a combination of equity and fixed income. Next is blue chip fund and opportunities fund. They both invest 100%. They can invest even up to 100% in equity. So this is high risk fund. So you can choose to invest in any of this combination. You can invest 100% in equity fund, you can invest 100% in income fund, or you can choose to have some ratio, 30% in income, 70% in equity. Like that, you can choose to have your own asset allocation ratio based on your risk appetite, based on your market outlook, based on your required rate of return. You can choose to have your own asset allocation. You can have it. Now we have understood the key features of this policy. Time to start reviewing this policy, right? What is the kind of review methodology we are going to follow? First, we are going to understand what are all the benefits we are going to receive this from this policy. That we will understand first. Second, let us compare this benefit with other investment options. By doing compare and contrast, we will get more clarity how this policy is placed. Compared to the other investment avenues, comparable investment avenues available in the market, how this particular investment insurance policy is placed, that we are going to do. This is going to be our review methodology. So first, let us understand the benefits from this policy. This policy gives you two benefits. Number one, death benefit. In case of death of the policy holder, then nominee or beneficiary, that is the kid, will receive a lump sum money. Right? That is the death benefit. Maturity is if the policy holder even survives, then a maturity value will be given. Right? So first, let us see what is the death benefit from this policy. The death benefit is the highest among the three values. Highest of the three values will be given to the nominee or the beneficiary as the death claim. So what are all those values? Number one, the fund value as on date. The money is getting invested in different funds, 4 options we saw. So what is the fund value as on date of death of the policy holder? So that is the number one value. Second value is 105% of the total premiums paid so far. That will be taken as the second value. Third value is the guaranteed sum assured. That is the total life cover given to the policy holder. So these three values will be taken. Out of these three values, whichever is higher, that will be given to the beneficiary as life cover or death claim to the nominee or beneficiary. Now let us move on and see the next benefit, that is the maturity benefit. If the policy holder survives, how much will be the maturity value? That we will analyze it with a simple example. We have taken this example from HDFC Life's website's benefit illustration. We have taken it and we have done this calculation. An investor is choosing to pay a premium of 1 lakh every year. End of 10th year, what is the estimated expected return from this policy? So you are paying every year 1 lakh, you have totally paid 10 lakhs. The maturity value is roughly around 12.94 lakhs. This works out to the net yield of 5.77%. Does this 5.77% reasonably a good return? Even today, FD are giving 5 to 6% return. FD is basically a risk-free investment. So the risk-free rate of return itself is 5 to 6%. So this 5.77% is delivered after taking a huge risk of investing money in stock market based investments as well. So 5.77% is not a decent risk premium return. Because this policy is taking risk, we expect a risk premium return. Generally, the risk premium return is in the range of 10 to 15%. This policy is nowhere near that. So do we have to consider this as a risk premium return? Why do we take risk and invest in riskier assets? Because we want to beat inflation. But definitely this 5.77% will not help you beat inflation. why this particular policy, even after taking huge risk in stock market based investment, is capable of giving only 5.77%. Why? Like any other ULIP policy, this policy also invests money in stock market and generates reasonably good returns, but at the same time there are huge charges attached to this policy. Huge charges just for allocating premium and policy administration charges. They have charges. These are the charges just for entering into this policy. Policy administration charge is 0.25% to 0.4% of the annual premium. Premium allocation charge is 1% to 4% of the annual premium. This is for just entering into this policy. There is something called discontinuance charges, which is basically to exit from the policy. It is bringing 2% to the maximum of 20% of the premium. That is charged as exit charges, discontinuance charges. Third one is for staying in the policy, fund management charge of 0.5% to 1.35%. This is charged every year on the fund value, unlike the other charges which are one-time charges every time when you enter or exit. Whereas fund management charge, they will charge every year, regardless of the fund is making profit or loss. They will be charging 0.5% to 1.35% as the fund management charges. So for enter there are charges, for exit there are charges, just to staying in again there are charges. But do we really have to have enter and exit charges? That is questionable. Fund management charges for staying in, yes, that has to be paid. But again, like for life cover, there are additional charges, mortality charges will be there. Because of all these charges are pulling down the overall returns, this policy is giving you a mediocre return of 5.77%, which is not a risk premium return. So we have seen the benefits of this policy. We have seen now. What is the next step in our review methodology? To compare these benefits with a few other investment options and see how this policy is placed. This policy is generating 5.77% return. 1 lakh invested every year for 10 years is giving us 12.9 lakhs as the maturity value approximately. Now let us compare it with a few other investment options. The first, let us take a risk-free investment option, which is PPF. PPF is a government-backed investment option, 7.1% assured return. It gives you. An investor is investing 1 lakh every year. At the end of 10th year, the value would have accumulated to 13.96 lakhs, which is 1 lakh higher than the maturity value which we are estimating from HDFC Youngstar Super ULIP. So a risk-free investment option, assured return investment option like PPF is able to outbeat HDFC Youngstar. Even after taking the risk, HDFC Youngstar is not able to beat PPF. That we have to remember. So which is better, HDFC Youngstar or PPF? PPF seems to be having an upper hand here. Now let us compare this HDFC Youngstar ULIP with another risk premium investment option, which is mutual fund ELSS. An investor is choosing to invest 1 lakh every year. On maturity, end of 10th year, the fund value would have been 17.71 lakhs, which is much higher, close to 4.5 lakhs higher than the expected end of the tenor value from HDFC Youngstar ULIP. Even if you accommodate long-term capital gain tax for ELSS mutual fund, the 10th year value will be much higher than the HDFC Youngstar ULIP. Here we have for ELSS mutual funds, we have assumed a moderate 12% return based on the past returns of ELSS mutual funds we have assumed. So ELSS mutual funds are definitely giving you a better risk adjusted return. with 12% rate of return, you will be able to beat inflation with ELSS mutual fund. And for the risk we are taking, we are rewarded adequately here. And for entry, there are no charges. For exit, again, there are no charges in ELSS mutual fund. And the returns, what you see as 12% is net of expenses. But remember, this 12% is not assured because the money is invested in market-based investments like HDFC Youngstar. Both are not guaranteed returns in Youngstar as well as in ELSS mutual fund. But historically, if you look at it, ELSS mutual funds have delivered around 12% return. Now, it is very clear between HDFC Youngstar ULIP and ELSS mutual fund. Again, ELSS mutual fund has got upper hand. So what should we do? HDFC Youngstar Super Premium ULIP, should we invest in this policy? Number one, this policy is not giving you a good risk premium return. No, this policy is not giving you a better risk premium return. Second, this policy has got multiple variants of charges for entering, for exiting, for staying in the fund, for life cover, policy administration. They've got different kind of charges. Charges are pulling down the net yield of this policy, that we have to remember. So second reason, charges. Third drawback of this policy is this policy, even after taking risk, not even meeting inflation. So that is the poor situation of this policy. Because of these three solid reasons, it is better to avoid this policy. It is better to avoid this policy. HDFC Youngstar Super Premium ULIP can be avoided. So if this policy we have to avoid, then as an alternative, where can I invest to secure my kids' future? There is a question you may have in your mind. The option what we are suggesting is, if you are an investor who wants to avoid risk, want to be very conservative, then have term insurance for life cover, PPF investment for investment purpose. This combination will help you generate definitely risk-free, assured return. Being a conservative investor, you can choose this option. If you are an aggressive investor who want to take risk, then choose a combination of term insurance plus ELSS mutual fund option. If you are a moderate investor who don't want to avoid a risk, at the same time who don't want to take 100% risk, then in that case, choose a combination of term insurance plus PPF plus ELSS mutual fund. In this three combination you can do. When you do it, you will be able to do asset allocation also properly. You will be able to do. These investments seems to be much better compared to HDFC Youngstar ULIP, because this combination can give you better risk premium return. Number two, returns are also higher. You will be able to beat inflation. Charges are low in this combination. Because of that, I'm suggesting you this combination. A detailed analysis of this policy is available in our blog post. We have done a detailed research analysis of this policy. We have done it. It is available in our blog post. The link to that blog post is given in the description box. Please read that detailed research report on this policy. If you have any specific questions related to this policy or any other investment option, feel free to book a free appointment with our financial planner. The link for the free appointment is given in the description box below this video. Also, we organize regular value-added investment-related webinar for investors. We interview many market experts in those webinars. You can take advantage of that webinar because it's completely a free webinar. The link to that webinar registration is available below this video. Please take advantage of our free webinars. Last but not the least, if you like this video, please share it with your friends to whom this will be definitely useful. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. so that you will not miss any of our future useful videos. Thank you. Bye.